I want people to start thinking about what happens to their stuff when you pass, when you're gone. Do you have plans? Are your plans in place? You and your spouse, if you have one or have another partner, business partner, you have to get that set first before you can even consider thinking about getting into the whole Landowner program or interviewing someone for the Landowner program.
From the Center for Agricultural Profitability at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is FarmCast. I'm Lexi Bilbach with the Center for Agricultural Profitability. I encourage you to check out the university's resources at cap.unl.edu. Before entering any land transition, one of the most important steps is getting clear on your goals. In this episode of Nebraska FarmCast, Farm and Ranch Succession and Transition Emeritus Extension Educator Allan Vyhnalek will talk us through how to define our priorities, whether that's financial return, conservation, legacy, or supporting the next generation, and how all of those goals can guide better decisions throughout the process.
Hi, this is Allan Vyhnalek with the University of Nebraska, wanting to visit with you about the landowner goal setting. So this video is for landowners and get them to think about where they're at with their goal setting as they're thinking about land link. And I hope you're watching this before you start interviewing potential land seekers for your operation. I want people to start thinking about what happens to their stuff when you pass, when you're gone. Do you have plans? Are your plans in place? You and your spouse, if you have one or have another partner, business partner, you have to get that set first before you can even consider thinking about getting into the whole land link program or interviewing someone for the land link program. Next, what is your estate plan? Do you have your end-of-life documents in place? How old are they? If they're more than 5 years old, you probably need to review them and maybe make some adjustments, make some amendments. Do they need to be updated? And when I talk about estate plans, I'm talking about end-of-life documents, things like your healthcare power of attorney, your healthcare directive, and your business power of attorney or the durable power of attorney. And then I'm also talking about your will or trust or LLC. Are those in good shape? But now we're going to talk about what happens to your ag operation. Do you plan to have that ag operation succeed, and do you have the documents in place for that to happen properly? If you're bringing a land seeker into your operation to help or work or hopefully take over, do you want that land seeker to continue with your operation? Do you want your operation to continue? Do you want your operation to succeed? Have all that kind of in place first before you think about this. It's important that you think about what income you're going to need from your operation later in life. If you're unable to contribute to the operation and you're no longer providing labor, maybe management, but no labor, what income are you going to need to live off of? Where do you plan to go? Do you have aspirations to do trips? Do you have aspirations to take vacations? And how does that be adjusted given where we're at with these land seekers? And what are we going to expect those land seekers to pay? We can't put them under the bus in terms of them being able to pay, or they're not going to want to stay with our operation very long. Where do you expect that income to come from? I don't know that there are a lot of people who can just live off their Social Security. Some people can, but a lot of people don't necessarily. And if you're no longer able to do the work, if you're no longer a part of your operation, where do you plan to live? Do you still plan to live out on the farm? Are you going to have in-home health care? How's that going to work if you become incapacitated? What do you plan to do? Let's have a plan for that. Let's think about what those options might be. And then how about the control of the operation? The famous story is that a 65-year-old said to one of the farm succession people, when is it appropriate to give control of your operation to your son? And that farm succession counselor knew that this 65-year-old had a 35, 40-year-old on the farm. And he said, well, if your son's 35 or 40 years old, been with you 10 or 15 years, it's time to start giving up control. And the 65-year-old goes, no, I'm not talking about my son. I'm talking about my 90-year-old father. When's he going to give up control? Because right now, my son and I get into the truck and we drive over to his place every morning to get directions on what we ought to do every day. My 90-year-old dad's not doing the work anymore, but he's sure still giving us directions. So that story in lies what's happening with a lot of our landowners and a lot of our old-time farmers. They never really want to retire, and they always want to maintain control. Well, I'm not being critical of that, but you have to think about how you're going to handle that control, and where would you plan to give that up, and how are you going to give that up. And the next video I'll be doing is on the phases of transfer. And I encourage you to watch that too, so you can think some more about that particular issue. And if you plan to give it up, yes, good, fine. But who are you going to give it up to? Are you giving it up just to your children? Are you giving it up to this new land seeker? How do you want your operation to go forward? So think about those big picture goals. What do I need for my operation for income? What do I need for my operation for where I'm going to live? How do I going to transfer control? How am I going to transfer my assets? Who are my assets going to go to? And there'll be some more stuff in the next video, but this gets you an idea about before you start this interview process with a land seeker, thinking about what you need to make sure you have in place. And of course, be sure you communicate this with your children if you have children involved, and absolutely be sure you are in agreement with your spouse. So that's what I had to say in this video, and I hope you find it helpful. And if you got questions, please contact me. I'm at 402-472-1771. Please leave a message. I'll be glad to get back to you as soon as possible. Glad to have you listen in, and have a great day.
You can find more information and resources regarding land transition at the Center for Agricultural Profitability's website at cap.unl.edu.